Welcome back to Mike's Gun World. Haven't done a video in a while. Been kind of busy around the farm a little bit. Slacking. I need to get some more content out there. But today I want to do a review of a pretty cool handgun that I came across recently. I don't really do reviews that often. If you're watching the channel, typically I'll do takedowns and get out on the range a little bit, but I don't often do reviews. But on this particular gun, I thought I would do a quick review on it and take it out on the range and shoot it. So my father-in-law bought himself a new concealed carry handgun, and he brought it up here to shoot on the range. And to be honest with you, as soon as I opened up the box, I kind of fell in love with it. I don't get too excited about, newer semi-autos. I like my World War II stuff, and I like some of my old cowboy shooting stuff. But this one caught my attention right away. It is the Beretta PX4 Storm Compact 2. It really, when I picked it up, it felt good in my hand. And I think that's a big thing for people when you're looking at a firearm, you're a first-time firearms purchaser. The gun's got to be right for you. I can give it a great review, and the gun's just not right for you. So if you are buying a gun for the first time, go to the store, get with somebody knowledgeable, and look at different firearms to see what feels good in your hand. The PX4 Storm Compact 2 feels really good in my hand. I do like Beretta. I like my 92 FSs. Those feel really good in my hand. So does this. The difference here is we've got a polymer frame. PX4 has, I believe, 4 different versions out there. Actually 5 if you consider F and G series. They have the PX4 standard, the PX4 Compact, which has been discontinued. The Compact has a 3.27 inch barrel. Then the Compact 2, which has a 3.2 inch barrel. And then there's a subcompact, which is a micro gun or a pocket pistol. But they all have the polymer frame. The nice features of the gun are it has a decocker, and the decocker doubles as a safety. And that's in the F series. I mentioned F and G before. The G series, inside the F series decocking mechanism, there's a little detent ball that holds it down and puts the gun in safe. In the G series, that little detent ball is missing, and when you decock it, it doesn't stay in safety, it just pops right back up. The other really cool feature is the locking barrel system. And with that, they have the rotating barrel. So not only when you rack it or the gun cycles, the barrel stays perfectly straight. And I do highlight this in my comparison between the Walther P38 and Beretta 92 FS. The locking barrel system is on both of those firearms. But it's on this, and it also has a rotating barrel. But just so you get a better idea of what I'm talking about, here's my Glock 19, which is my kind of standard carry. You'll see the barrel kind of cantilevers up when you cycle it. In the Berettas, they don't cantilever up, they stay level, and they move back and forth. But in, I think, the 8000 series, I'm not really sure about this, but definitely in the PX4 series, it has a rotating barrel too. So the barrel rotates about a quarter turn every time it cycles on recoil. And that's supposed to give it a really soft action. We'll figure that out when we get out on the range. I think the other feature that I like about this, just like your Glocks, it comes with a couple of different, actually 3 different back straps. There's a stock back strap, then a slightly larger for a thicker hand, bigger hand. And then I put this one on, which has got a full beaver tail, and it's much wider and thicker. I put that one on because it feels good on in my hand. My father-in-law, he's got a slightly smaller hand, and he likes the original, so I'm gonna have to put that back for him. The one downfall that I've seen so far with the pistol is the decocker. and the decocking mechanism has these little bat wings on it, and they stick out. So when you go to rack it, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it certainly wouldn't knock it down a grade at all in my mind, but they kind of stick in your hand a little bit. You know, I'd like to grab the slide back here to rack it, and it's kind of digging in your hand just a little bit. It's not bothersome. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. I think I don't have a concealed carry holster for this, but I do think that would be a problem if it was inside the waistband. You might have this kind of sticking you in the side a little bit. So aftermarket, they do make a flatter decocking lever. However, it's a G series. It doesn't have the detent ball. So you kind of lose your safety if you want to switch this out. It's not hard to do. I'm going to talk to my father-in-law. If he wants to do it, then I'll get the parts and I'll make a video on how to actually change out the decocking lever. But outside of that, I think it's a really cool concealed carry pistol. In terms of size, I'm not going to get into the details, but it's very close in size to my everyday carry Glock 19. I mean, they are virtually the same size. It's probably a little bit thicker, but in terms of overall size and weight, it's just about the same as a Glock 19, my Gen 5. That's about it for my in-here review of it. Let's get it out. Let's get it out on the range. No, you know what we should do first is let's take it apart so I can show you the rolling barrel system. Okay, so a couple other things before we start taking it down. I failed to mention this comes chambered in both 40 Smith and 9mm. This one happens to be in 9mm. Another cool feature that I definitely forgot about is the half cock feature, where the hammer can actually come back. Looks like a quarter cock. They call it half cock. And it's meant so the hammer isn't leaning forward in case you slam it down. There's an accidental discharge. There's multiple safeties that would prevent that. But you could put it in the half cock position when it's in the holster. So another neat little feature. And then finally, the takedown lever is very much like a Glock on both sides. You have to kind of pull your slide back and push down on both tabs at once, and then your slide comes off. So very much, if you're familiar with Glocks, very much like the Glock takedown. Okay, now let's get under the other camera and take a look at the barrel rotating system and then how to change out the grips. Okay, this is going to be a little bit hard to see. I'm trying to get some light on it, but right inside here is the slot in the lug on the barrel, on the locking block system that rotates the barrel. So as it recoils or cycles, you can see the barrel actually rotating. Let me get this off. So there's a lug right here in a locking block system and a slot here in the barrel. So you can see that barrel rotates about a quarter turn, maybe a little bit less. And that is meant to basically just lighten up the recoil and make it a very smooth firing pistol. And we'll find out when we get it out on the range how it feels. Next, let's exchange these back straps. Okay, so holding the back strap in, there's a little spring right here. I take a flathead screwdriver, kind of get it on that spring and just pop it out. And it's gonna be a little bit tight. It shouldn't be this tight, but it is. Once it gets moving, just kind of work it all the way out, and you just pull it out. And then the back strap pretty much snaps in place. So you gotta apply a little pressure and snap it off. And sometimes get your screwdriver in there. There you go. It's starting to separate. I don't want to mar it up, but just use gentle pressure and it will pop off out of the slots, and there you go. This is the beaver tail backstrap, and that's the one I prefer, but it's as simple as that. And then they come with these little covers, I guess to keep them in shape. I'm not sure really what they are. You would just snap the other backstrap, whatever one you prefer, in place and put the pin back in. I'm going to put this beaver tail back on because I like it. When we get it out on the range, I want to use this to fire. So you kind of just do it in reverse order. It snaps into place just like that. And then take your pin, your locking pin, get those grooves started, and just push it right back down. Push it right back down into place. Did I do that backwards? I might have. Yeah, it does go a certain way. So if it doesn't go all the way in, you got it backwards. If it goes all the way in, you got it right. That's really all there is to it. You know, first impressions of this gun are great. I really love it. Like I said, the only minor drawback are these kind of bat wings on the decocker, but that's all I've seen so far. Let's get it out on the range and put a couple of magazines through it, see how she fires. All right, we're out on the range. I got 2 mags with me, 10 rounds each. We are 45 feet or 15 yards from the target. So let's run through 2 mags and see how the PX4 Compact 2 runs. Here we go. Getting used to the sights. This is the first time firing it. All right, I scattered it a little bit, but not too bad. First time out, I love it. That recoil is, it's like butter. It is really, really, really smooth. Overall, I would say I would give this, I would almost give it an A+. I would give this gun, for me personally, I would give it an A. The one thing I don't like are these bat wings, and I don't know how that would be on an IWB holster. Maybe there's some leather that covers it so it's not hitting your skin. That's the only drawback I see. I think it's a fantastic gun. Not too shabby at 45 feet, 15 yards. First time I pulled it out. I'm okay with that grouping. I have to work with it a little bit more. Anyway, if you're liking our content, you're liking what we're putting out there, hit like and hit subscribe so you get notified every time we drop some new content. All of your help and support is always very much appreciated. We will talk to you soon.